Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the football betting series here on YouTube, Euros edition. With the domestic season over, let's take a look at our overall record: 86 wins, 29 losses, and 11 pushes for an overall profit of £454 between January and June, which isn't too bad going, to be honest. Euro 2024 means our record restarts at 0, 0, and 0, a fresh slate. So if you think I'm talking some sense in today's video, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. Without further ado, let's get into it. We kick things off with the opening game of the tournament. Germany play host to Scotland, and as the host nation, Germany have not needed to qualify for the tournament. This does mean that they're a bit of an unknown quantity when it comes to competitive competitions over the last 2 years. Despite this, the 2014 world champions tested their mettle against two of the tournament favourites back in March. The Germans beat France 2-0 in Paris in a really convincing display, bossing possession, taking more shots and reducing the French team, one of the tournament favourites, to very few chances of any real quality. They then followed this performance up with a similarly impressive display against their fierce rivals, the Netherlands. It took an 85th minutes Füllkrug winner for the Germans to run out 2-1 victors in Frankfurt, making it 2 wins from 2 against two of Europe's top sides. Scotland are the visitors, and they've taken quite the journey to reach Euro 2024. Qualification record of 5 wins, 2 draws, and just the 1 defeat was good enough for second place in their group, finishing just 4 points behind an all-conquering Spain side, which the Tartan Army did beat at Hampden. Scotland have really impressed the neutrals with 16 goals in 8 matches. That does rank the Scottish attack as the 10th best in qualifying. When we look at the head-to-head record, it has been a few years since these sides faced off in competitive action. They were both drawn against each other for the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign, Germany winning both of those games, 2-1 in Germany and then 3-2 in Scotland. Overall, Germany have won each of the last 3 encounters and are unbeaten in all 5 competitive meetings since 1992. Scotland have made significant strides in this qualifying campaign, but Germany seem to have their number. If the Germans had failed to perform against sides like France and Holland earlier in the year, I'd be a bit more cautious. In light of some strong recent showings, the historic dominance they've displayed over Scotland, and the fact that they're the host nation in this tournament, I'll be siding with Germany to kick off their campaign to a winning start, picking up 3 points in the opening match of Matchday One. Our second selection sees Spain play Croatia, and Spain qualified for Euro 2024 by topping qualification Group A. They only suffered defeat once across 8 games, winning the other 7. Additionally, Spain's attack ranks them as the 3rd highest scorers in the qualification campaign, an average of 2.88 goals per game. Form-wise, Spain are also looking strong. They've won each of their last 8 competitive matches. Croatia, they're the opponents, and they qualified for the tournament by placing second in their group, qualification Group D. Their overall record had 5 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats to their name. And despite a solid performance, when we take into account the quality of opposition in the group, it's perhaps a little bit disappointing they did not finish first in their group. The other teams they were faced with in the group were Turkey, Wales, Armenia, and Latvia, so not the best and brightest of Europe. Croatia's 13 goals in 8 group games only ranks them 21st in Europe, with an average of 1.63 goals per game. 5 clean sheets in 8 games on its own is fairly impressive, but looking at the quality of opposition, perhaps they could have done better. When we look at the head-to-head records, these sides faced off last June in the Nations League final. Despite Spain taking 21 shots, they did only force 1 Croatian save in the 120 minutes before Spain claimed the victory in a penalty shootout. The next most recent encounter was the round of 16 tie in Euro 2020. After controlling the game for large spells and taking the lead, Spain would have been disappointed to concede a 92nd minute equaliser courtesy of Mario Pasalic to take the tie to extra time. However, when we did reach extra time, Spain did manage to score twice to qualify for the quarterfinals of Euro 2020. Bringing us back to the current tournament, I'm absolutely leaning towards Spain here. Croatia have been less than impressive during qualifying, dropping points and not looking quite as sharp in front of goal compared to a trailblazing Spain squad. The main issue I see with Croatia is that their golden generation is finally starting to age out and slow down. I don't think they're going to have the staying power, especially in the second half of this game. Spain to win for a full stake in bet number 2. Moving on to our third selection, we've got Poland against Holland. And Poland have taken the scenic route to reach these finals. They finished 3rd in their qualifying campaign behind Albania and the Czech Republic, and needed to reach the tournament proper via the playoffs. The first round of the playoffs was a straightforward affair, a game of complete and total dominance in their 5-0 victory against Estonia. Afterwards, they faced Wales in a match which was more evenly contested and a game that failed to yield any goals. With the scores tied 0-0 after 120 minutes, it was the Poles that squeaked through on penalties. A 100% conversion rate from the spot means they did take the victory by 5 goals to 4 in the shootout. Despite this dramatic road to reach the group stage of the tournament, we can't really say that Poland have been impressive at all. Just 10 goals for and 10 against is immediately an issue, as their attack is ranked 29th in Europe with 1.36 per game. Their defence ranked number 22, conceding over a goal a game, 1.07. Their opening game is against an imperious Netherlands side who qualified for the tournament by finishing second place in Group B with an overall record of 6 wins, 0 draws, and 2 defeats, with both losses coming against France. So I won't be holding that against them too much, as France are one of the tournament favourites. During the qualifying campaign, the Netherlands averaged 2.13 goals across their 8 matches, which actually ranks them the 6th best in qualifying. We do need to take these numbers with a pinch of salt, however, as these goal statistics do include the 6-0 and 3-0 wins over Gibraltar. However, you have to play the team in front of you, so I don't think we can hold that against Holland too much. When we look at their head-to-head records, the most recent encounter took place in September of 2022 in the Nations League. Goals from Bergwijn and Gakpo sealed a 2-0 win for the Dutch. Overall, the Netherlands have won 3 of the last 4 encounters, and they are unbeaten in all recent meetings. These sides come into the tournament with 2 different fortunes. Poland perhaps more grateful to be at the tournament, whereas Holland are looking for a strong performance to set the tone for a tournament in which they'll aspire to go deep in. Netherlands to win their first game of the group for a full stake in bet number 3. Our fourth and final selection in Matchday 1 sees Austria play France. And Austria performed really well in their qualifying campaign, finishing just 1 point behind Belgium with 19 points overall, and a strong record of 6 wins, 1 draw, and just 1 defeat to their name. Their only loss coming to the hands of Belgium by 3 goals to 2, so not too shabby really. Austria scored 17 goals in their 8 matches, or 2.13 goals per game, which ranks them in the 8th best attacking side in qualification. 7 goals allowed is also quite solid, but only 3 clean sheets in 8 perhaps shows us where Austria is weakest at the back. They play a France side who qualified for the Euros unbeaten in all 8 of their games, winning 7 and drawing 1 in the group. This 1 draw came on the final day, 2-2 against Greece, with them already securing qualification and the number 1 spot in the group. So perhaps a little bit of complacency here, but they've done the hard yards and qualified with a game to spare. In fact, France have not lost a competitive game since their World Cup finals defeat against Argentina over 18 months ago. Over the qualifying campaign, France scored 27 goals in just 8 games, or an average of 3.38 goals per game, one of the best records in Europe. However, the numbers are somewhat skewed by the 14-0 win over Gibraltar, and if you remove this, France's numbers were still in the top 5. When we look at the head-to-head record, these sides faced off in the 2022 edition of the Nations League, France winning by 2 goals to 0 in the most recent game after generating 22 shots. In fact, Austria have not beaten France since their 3-1 victory in the 2008 World Cup qualifying campaign, which is over 16 years ago now. It's hard to see past France in this one. Their Blues attack is their real strong suit, and Austria have looked vulnerable at the back, especially at the top level. It's a perfect storm for France to pick up an opening day win, so I'm going to be siding them for a full stake in the final bet of the episode. So there we have it, 4 selections in Matchday 1 of Euro 2024, starting with the opening game, Germany against Scotland. We're going to be backing the host nation to pick up a win on the opening day, odds of 1.29, £30 stake to return £8.70. Next up, Spain versus Croatia. We're going to be backing Spain to win at odds of 1.88, £30 stake to return 26.40. The following day, we're going to be looking at the Netherlands to beat Poland, odds of 1.69, £30 stake to return 20.70. And the final, I'm going to be backing France, odds of 1.52, £30 stake to return £15.60. So across the opening day of Matchday 1, we're going to be risking £120 to hopefully pick up as much as £71.40. Will we do so? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into the next episode. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. And as always, have yourself a lovely day.